problem with the defense. The defense held, I get it, they scored 32 points. They held Cincinnati, a good offense with Joe Burrow, they 4 times in the red zone in the first half held them to field goals. Like, the defense was doing its job. And because it was getting no help from the offense, they eventually just gave up the ghost. I mean, that's not, you don't want that. But you can only hold a good offense down so much if you are getting no support from your offense.
You were requesting that. You said you were okay with that.
Yeah, I was. Past tense. I don't know what's going. This is the worst stretch in Lamar Jackson's career. And we know his rookie year, he came into the league and wasn't a great passer and all that. Yeah, I mean, in his last 4 games, he's got 1 touchdown and 5 turnovers, 3 interceptions, 2 picks. The natural thing to think is there's some type of injury, his legs, he can't do what he's normally done. But he doesn't look, he's not playing with the same confidence, with the same swagger. But right now, I say Lamar and the coaching right now are the problem. And Lamar in that, obviously, he's not playing well at all. He's playing bad. The coaching, Derrick Henry against a team with a bad rush defense, runs for 30-yard touchdown one of the first series of the game. And then he gets 2 touches, 2 carries the rest of the first half. All right, so I just think he had 10 carries, 60 yards. That's 6 yards a pop. They have, you guys know I've talked about this, when they've been clicking, they haven't seemed to get a great handle on when to use Lamar, when to use Henry, and it's just really biting them right now. But it's not looking good. Look, thank God for the AFC North, because they got a shot to win the division. But in a wide-open AFC, even if the Chiefs are out, a wide-open AFC, they don't look capable of doing any damage at all in the play. Now, I think Lamar can turn it around, but right now they are looking terrible.
Well, it's all about Lamar Jackson. Like you alluded to the numbers, I have some of the numbers. I didn't go the last 4 games, but I did the last 3 games. And when you look at it, it's alarming because early in the year we were talking about a guy that did not turn the ball over and throw interceptions. He's not throwing touchdowns. He's not accurate right now. Completion percentage is plummeted. Like the last 3 games, I'm just going to look at the Ravens through the lens of Lamar Jackson. If he's on the field, the likelihood of this team being good, we thought, was higher. With him playing the way that he's playing right now and them not giving Derrick Henry the ball, like it's an issue because Lamar Jackson is going in the wrong direction. And I think Todd Monken is torn. Like we can blame it on Todd Monken and the coordinator if we want. This is Lamar Jackson. This is all Lamar Jackson. I just would like Todd Monken to recognize, because I feel like they are so high on Lamar, and as am I, but when a guy is in a slump, you got to do something to get him out. And I think they're trying to throw the ball to get him out and eliminating Derrick Henry altogether in their run game, and it should be the opposite right now. Especially their defense is giving you something to hang your hat on. I'm not as bullish on their defense. But this is a Lamar Jackson issue. When they were having success as an offense, it was largely because of Lamar Jackson.
And after practice, they were able to play Papa Shot. Blow off some steam.
They're failing.
They haven't been the same.
Lamar Jackson.
Well, yeah, and to your point, Greg, it's 4 straight games with less than a 90 passer rating, 3 straight less than 80, 3 straight with no touchdown. Neither of those have ever happened at any point of his career. So he's in his worst stretch of football of his career as a starter. And even honestly, that dates back to his rookie year. He didn't have 4 straight games.
He wasn't this. But remember, they went on a win streak.
They went on a win streak, and he was so dynamic with his legs that it was okay. He wasn't great passing at the time. Now, I was surprised when early in the game he broke, not even like a crazy long run, but I was like, oh, wow, that's something. And the fact that I was surprised by it is jarring. So I do think, you guys know I have thought the last couple of years the roster is a touch overrated by folks in the media. So I'm not going to act like the GM has no accountability. And I just said Lamar's playing the worst football of his life, so he has accountability. But to Wild's point, The roster's the roster, and Lamar's obviously the Ravens' hope is their quarterback for the next 10 years, God willing. Which leads us to this. John Harbaugh should be coaching for his job the rest of the year.
I agree.
Wow.
I felt that way for this whole season.
And to where, like, obviously, if they miss the playoffs, I think that, and you can say, well, do I feel the same way about Andy because they missed the playoffs? The answer is no, because there's such a different track record.
That is an absolutely nonsensical comparison. No one holds that opinion about Andy Reid. Frankly, no one is even posing that particular question to you, so I'm genuinely uncertain what point you're attempting to articulate. Regarding John Harbaugh, it is patently obvious his seat should be warm, scorching even. It should have reached that temperature in 2023, 2024, and certainly 2025, especially following the 2023 campaign, which exemplified a degree of coaching negligence so profound it bordered on malpractice. That assessment is unequivocal. I intend to revisit this game footage. My initial viewing occurred late on Thanksgiving night, after which I compiled my notes and prepared my analysis. However, I feel compelled to watch it again, with a specific focus on Lamar Jackson above all else. The prevailing narrative is to critique Lamar, and he certainly warrants some criticism for his recent performances, which have been subpar. Yet the situation is complex and somewhat peculiar. I've echoed a sentiment expressed by Greg, or perhaps it was Brew, or both, regarding the offense's struggle to effectively integrate Derrick Henry. I've articulated this since last season. They fail to establish a synergistic relationship that keeps opposing defenses guessing and creates genuine confusion. This is an area where the Philadelphia Eagles excelled last year with Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts under Kellen Moore's guidance. The trio executed run-pass options with such fluidity that you were never quite certain what to anticipate. Granted, there were many instances of straightforward, punishing runs where the message was clear: we are running the ball, try to stop us. Nonetheless, the offensive structure consistently established moments throughout a contest that paved the way for subsequent, devastating, explosive plays. That cohesive, layered offensive identity has never been visible with the Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry pairing. It has largely felt like Derrick Henry is simply a physical force who will break tackles, and good luck containing him. Even in a game like this one, and forgive me if I misorder the sequence, I believe Isaiah likely fumbled first, and then Zay Flowers committed a crucial fumble later, at a point where its impact was arguably diminished, though not insignificant. If they had scored on that latter drive, the score would have been 29-21. Certainly, anything is possible. The clock was under 4 minutes. They would have needed to drive the length of the field. The interceptions, the turnovers, the likely fumble, the Flowers fumble, are so demoralizing. When you experience a cluster of these, let's term them catastrophic mishaps. This particular Ravens team is not equipped to overcome them. This squad lacks the fortitude to surmount a critical interception or an untimely fumble, especially one occurring in the back of the end zone. They simply do not possess the requisite resilience at this juncture. When Lamar Jackson commits multiple turnovers in a game, it necessitates perfection from every other unit. If you are going to have an Isaiah likely fumble, which, to be clear, I view as the more impactful error, the Flowers fumble, while unhelpful, feels secondary. Did the Ravens truly give any indication they were poised to methodically drive the field, score, secure a defensive stop, and then orchestrate another scoring drive? We acknowledge it was theoretically possible, but it was far from a probable outcome. Returning to the Derrick Henry dynamic, the final score was 32-14, but examining the game flow reveals a different story. The sequence was 3-0, then 3-7, remaining 3-7, then 6-7, 9-7, 12-7. The contest remained within reach. Even at 19-7 in the third quarter, it was still a manageable deficit. There's a pervasive misconception that if you're down by a touchdown, you must abandon the run. That's a fallacy. At 19-14, you are absolutely still in the game. The offense simply cannot establish any semblance of rhythm or flow currently. I understand the inclination to blame the offensive line, and while it hasn't been stellar, this game specifically featured only a handful of instances where Lamar Jackson was immediately overwhelmed. In those moments, the criticism is understandable. What is a quarterback supposed to do? However, that is not the primary reason for his stat line. 17 for 32, 246 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 2 fumbles. The narrative cannot simplistically be, He had no time. He was under constant duress. That is not an accurate reflection of the game's entirety. They could run the ball. There were successful rushing attempts. There were numerous occasions where Lamar had sufficient time to operate and make plays. The failure was one of consistent execution, compounded by an utter inability to protect the football. You simply cannot win games when you commit 5 turnovers. I would be curious to know the historical winning percentage for teams with 5 giveaways. It must be infinitesimal. As Brew noted, and as I discussed in my postgame clip, they reached the red zone 6 times. Granted, 5 turnovers explain their lack of scoring, but they also held the opponent to 1 for 6 in the red zone, which perfectly illustrates the value of simply taking the points via field goals. This game is a textbook case for that philosophy. Still, converting only 8 of 19 third downs while allowing Baltimore to go 3 for 10 speaks to a broader dysfunction. Presently, everything feels misaligned. The coaching feels off. The players feel off. The entire operation feels disjointed. While I previously suspected Lamar Jackson's health might be a factor, and I even made an analogy earlier this season about it feeling like a disconnected controller or a malfunctioning joystick, he hasn't looked right to me since the season's outset. He doesn't appear confident or in command. Everything feels discordant. My current assessment is twofold. In isolation, I don't believe the injuries are the sole cause of their struggles. However, I do suspect the cumulative physical issues are preventing Lamar from accessing that Superman mode, that ability to single-handedly will the team to victory with his legs and improvisation. For whatever reason, injuries, schematic issues, confidence, that transcendent capability is absent. Consequently, in moments where the team desperately needs him to create something miraculous, it's not materializing. The deficit feels increasingly insurmountable. Compounding this, you have a bizarre deployment of Derrick Henry, giving him only 10 carries. You have Isaiah Likely fumbling. You have Zay Flowers, 7 targets, only 2 receptions. Also fumbling. That is devastating. It's a recipe for a crushing defeat. It was, unequivocally, a terrible performance. There is no way to gloss over it. It was shockingly bad. If someone had predicted this exact outcome, I would have been incredulous. This is precisely why I want to rewatch the game. It was jarring to witness. Observing this Ravens team, and Lamar Jackson specifically, perform in a manner that seemed implausible forces you to ask extreme questions. Was he ill? Did he have food poisoning? Was he playing on 2 broken ankles? The performance was that aberrant. It's simply bizarre. Yes, the fundamental truth is that Lamar Jackson must perform better. That is indisputable. Yet stating that feels insufficient. The entire situation currently feels like an unraveling mess. I genuinely do not have a singular definitive explanation for why. Consider this. Tyler Huntley appeared more composed and effective against the Chicago Bears, who are currently the #1 seed in the entire league, than Lamar did in this contest. That underscores the sheer weirdness of the current circumstances. But these are simply my reflections. I would be absolutely delighted to hear your own. What are all of your thoughts concerning Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens? Do you believe he is the primary reason for the team's current failures? Let me know your perspectives in the comment section below. I read every single comment. So, whether you find yourself in agreement or in vehement opposition, let's engage in some dialogue. Let's have some spirited debates. But ultimately, let's ensure we are enjoying the process. And please do consider subscribing. We are in the process of cultivating a phenomenal community here and would absolutely adore having you as a part of it. My goal is to build something to which we all feel a genuine connection, something we are genuinely thrilled to be involved with. I believe we are making significant progress toward that objective. Also, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it genuinely assists with its visibility within the platform's algorithm. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to seeing you next time.